the same. Well, Dr. Joel Conn from Pismo Beach Veterinary Clinic joins us this morning, and we welcome you, Dr.
Thank
Conn.
you.
Always nice to have you. What are we talking about today?
So we're talking about vaccines today.
Okay.
So there seems to be more and more people asking about vaccines. It used to be you went into your vet, that's what you got what you got, and you went home. But with the increasing knowledge on the human side, concerns for autism and things like that in humans, we're finding clients are becoming a little bit better informed and have a lot more questions about vaccines in the animal world, dogs and cats. So I thought we'd kind of talk about some of the things that go into decision making with vaccinations, why vaccines are still very important in a number of categories, but why you also should be your own pet's advocate. So one of the things with vaccinations that you need to look at is public health, population health versus individual health. And so individual health, of course, is the health of the animal, preventing them from illness. So things like rabies, distemper, and parvo in dogs, those are serious things. Parvo we still see all the time, and that's something you want to vaccinate against. But, there are people who say, well, my dog never is exposed to any animals or other dogs, I don't need to vaccinate. Well, if everyone did that, we would have a rabies outbreak. People would start coming down with rabies like they do in some other countries.
Wow.
And so you got to kind of consider the entire, broad picture there. The other thing is we want to weigh the cost of the vaccine versus the possible benefit. And so it used to be you went into your vet and you got like a 9-in-1 vaccine that had a million different things in it. And so now we're looking at, individual things, what things are important to vaccinate against, what things maybe can we leave behind, because there's vaccines for almost everything out there. So your veterinarian can help you there. There's a lot of information online. One of the things where this comes up a lot is with indoor-only cats. Indoor-only cats are at low risk for things like feline leukemia virus, which requires prolonged contact with infected cats for them to pick it up. So even if they escape outside for a few hours, every once in a while, their risk is essentially zero. So that's a vaccine we wouldn't necessarily do. The risk of vaccination in cats, there are some things like vaccine-associated tumors, which can be as much as 1 in 10,000. Not a very high risk. But if the risk of getting the disease is zero, then do you want to take that risk? So, it's important to be really informed. And then the type of vaccine can make a difference. So do you buy the vaccine yourself from a feed store, or do you have your veterinarian do it? The difference between those is that the manufacturer is going to stand behind the product from the veterinarian, whereas the feed store, we don't know how it was stored, we don't know how it has been handled, was it left out in the sunlight, is it expired? Is that vaccine even working? And I have personally seen cases where owners vaccinated their pets for a disease, and with a very effective, should be effective vaccine, the animal got sick. So it kind of makes you question, and that's one of the things that we can offer is our vaccines come directly from manufacturer. If an animal gets sick on one of our vaccines, typically the company will pay for the treatment. And so there are some advantages there. So it's important to kind of be knowledgeable, because there are vaccinations against all sorts of things. And just like in humans, we have to kind of weigh what's the benefit to our pet versus the possible risk. There's lots of good online resources for that too. UC Davis each year will list vaccine protocols that they recommend. The American Veterinary Medical Association, AVMA, also has a lot of information on their website. So talk to your vet and be an informed pet owner.
And to take away from all this, basically different breeds need different vaccinations?
Not so much different, different lifestyles. Yeah, different lifestyles, and then cats versus dogs. And if you have a hunting dog versus a lap dog, that may make a difference on what we recommend.
Very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, if you have a question about your pet's health, email it to askthevet@kcoi.com. Thank you, Dr. Joel Conn. As always, stay with us. We'll be right back.